Chris, what's the element of surprise, humor, and how much do they contribute to creating some amazing campus? Do you have any examples where they've used humor, surprise to build some really, really interesting content out there?
Yeah, so well, I'm probably not going to give you the answer that you want because like people come to me all the time. I was a sketch comedian. I learned at Chicago's Second City. They're like the gold standard for sketch comedy. They've been doing it since the 1950s. But what they teach you is that comedy is the truth. And again, this goes back to a problem that a lot of B2B companies have. They'd rather just make up a scenario that is convenient for them, you know? So, my philosophy on surprising the audience is like, can we hit them with the truth in the first 3 seconds? And usually, what that means is you're cutting off your exposition and you're starting in the middle of the action. And there's a lot of simple ways to do this too. I mean, you specifically asked about video. Simple text on the screen, some movement happening on video, right? There are all sorts of things you could do to be visually different than what's in the rest of the news feed. But the answer of what is funny is very different from room to room. Comedy is a very contextual thing. Comedy has a shelf life, by the way. You don't, George Carlin, famous comedian, he was not going around in the 1990s doing the material that he was doing in the 1970s, right? There's a expression that goes, "You had to be there," right? Because the best joke is the one that is right on cue, right in the moment, you know? So I always tell people, like, stop trying to be funny and can you get to the truth more quickly, more bluntly than everybody else is? And the fact that you said something true, that's where the laughter comes from. And oftentimes when you watch a stand-up comedian, the frame they use is they're talking about these things. They'll say, everybody says you're supposed to blah, 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 but I personally always do, and they say the thing they do, and the audience laughs because they do that too. And if you look for what's true, you will find what's funny. If you try to be funny, you might make up something fake, and then it just bombs.